What's going on, people? We're going back to the shop and I will explain to you something. Maybe this technical difficulty will help somebody in the future. I got a rear end laying over here. It's just a regular 20,000 pound differential. So this thing, it's basically a single axle truck. And a fail, and reason a fail, I will explain to you in a little bit why it failed. But the guy wants to put a 23,000 pound axle, which is 46,000 pound setup, or 23,000 pound single axle. And I run into problem, like the axle is axle, just the housing's a little bit bigger in the middle. So I found the axle, I bought it used, obviously, from a salvage yard. And now I went to town because something doesn't fit, and I will explain to you what it is. Let me go outside and let's begin. So right here is a S-cam tubes with the S-cam, slack adjuster and everything. And you can see how far apart it is. And as you know, the axle actually slid this way. They're not perfectly in the center, they slid this way. You see this little gap right here between the slack adjuster and this, so the spider will remove, you can remove all this. So this is the old axle, and the problem is this junk, it wore out. It's going up and down, so the bearing failed on it. And it's just not heavy enough for the truck gets used for this application. So right here, we have a bigger axle, which I got underneath it. And what I run into the problem is the S-cam tubes, S-cam bushings tubes, S-cam itself, and the slack adjuster, see, there's not enough room. So this is, I believe it's 8.5 inches from a spider to there, and it's got to be 12. And the problem is I can't transfer the spider to this because it's going to hit this, and the other side, it actually works fine. Right here is plenty of room, like it will end up being right here, which ends up here. And at this point in time, I'm clueless. The reason the rear end went down, because she has pusher axle, single drive with a pusher, single tires, but he's gonna put duals on it. And I'm like, at this point in time, I'm clueless what to do. The spider itself, like you would think you can reclock the spider so this tube be coming out right here, and it's not gonna touch the spring. See, it's like it's touching a spring there and touching a spring there, and the axle's not down. I'm gonna try reclock the yeah, I think I can do that. I think I should be able to reclock the spider, so basically pick the spider up, and the shoe's gonna sit a little bit different, and it might work, it might not, I'm not sure. Because the guy who bought an axle from salvage yard, he's kind of grouchy old guy, and he's like, no, it should work. So we'll see. But at this point in time, I kind of fit it in to pre-fit it. I redid the stubs, and this is a full locker. So if you ever gonna do this, like you want to have a dummy axle, don't do it. You're not saving anything, you're just creating yourself a headache. So if you do want a single axle, like single drive axle, and then have like a dummy axle, this axle should be here, and this axle should be here, and this axle should be not liftable, it's always on the ground. But the owner of this truck, he ended up doing it this way, and now you have this massive problem to make all this work, because that's the repair what don't need to be done if the bolt axles would be here. So comment below if you ever seen a design like that. But for me, it absolutely makes no sense. I kind of disagree with this adventure, having a pusher and a single drive axle, and then you constantly blow on rear ends because the axle's not heavy enough. Thanks for watching all.